everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I got a new intro. I hope you guys like it. I spent like 5 hours like searching for a somewhat decent intro, and that was the best one I found. So I hope you guys like it. My outro is still the same, but yeah. I have a Discord server now, so you guys should join. It's gonna be linked in the description, and it's linked in my little channel description thingy, so you should join, because like it's fun, and like why not? Trigger warnings for this video are broken bones, hospitalization, blood, and yeah, I think that's it. I hope you all enjoy. The limo arrives at Hinata's house, and he says goodbye to his friends, sends his condolences, then exits the limo, sucking air through his teeth as he feels a sharp pain go through his body. He takes a deep breath and makes his way to the door, but with every step, it's like all he can feel is excruciating pain coming from his chest. Weird, he says to himself, then continues to the door, waving the others off as they drive away. He then opens the front door, stepping inside and feeling a tickle-like feeling in his throat. He clears his throat, making the feeling go away for a minute. Feeling the tickle went away, he walks into their kitchen, which is right next to the front door, and he sets his wallet and keys down on the counter before he feels that tickle come back. Then he starts violently coughing. He stands there for a good minute, just coughing. He finally feels the feeling go away, and he looks down at his hand, seeing blood. His eyes widen. Shit. He says a little louder than he intended. Sho? Is that you? Yeah, it's me, he says with a bit of panic in his voice. Sho? You okay? Yeah, I'm all good, he says before violently coughing again. His boyfriends heard this from the living room where they were watching some random shows on TV as they finished the movie earlier, but wanted to stay up to make sure Hinata got home safe. And they look at each other, Yamaguchi getting up to go check on him. Sho? Are you okay? He says as he walks over to the kitchen. Hinata starts panicking a little bit, hearing Yamaguchi's steps coming closer. Fuck. He can't see the blood? They will all start worrying for nothing. And there was nothing wrong. Everything was fine. All it was a few bruises and scratches. Nothing he hadn't had before. He would survive. Right? Yeah, I'm fine. No need to worry about anything, he says in between coughs, panicking because they would only think the worst if they saw the blood. He tries walking over to the other side of the kitchen, going to get the paper towels, but he feels another pain in his chest, and he just stays put, silently panicking. But I mean, it's not like anything is happening. He's fine. But Yamaguchi doesn't pay attention to him saying this, and continues making his way to the kitchen, turning the corner to see Hinata covered in bruises and coughing up blood. Sho? What happened? He says, rushing over and grabbing Hinata's face, assessing the injuries on his face. The other two hear the worried tone in Yamaguchi's voice and rush into the kitchen. They see Yamaguchi holding Hinata's face and assessing his injuries. Sho? What the fuck happened? Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Don't worry. He starts to cough again. He wonders why he's coughing so much all of a sudden. He was fine on the way here, so why now? Yamaguchi continues assessing the wounds on Hinata's body. Suddenly, Hinata starts to feel really lightheaded. He turns himself around and grabs onto the counter, leaning into it, supporting himself and trying not to fall, as he feels like the world is spinning around him. Sho, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just a little lightheaded. I'll be fine though, it's nothing. Yamaguchi immediately scoops him up, making his chest hurt, but he doesn't say anything, not wanting to make Yamaguchi feel bad, and brings him over to the couch, laying him down. Yamaguchi turns and looks at Tsuki after he sets Hinata down. I need you to call 911 and tell them to send an ambulance. Tell them he's lightheaded and coughing up blood. He then turns to Kageyama. And I need you to watch over Sho. Make sure he doesn't try to move. Alright. Tsuki then takes out his phone and dials 911. Yamaguchi then turns back to Hinata. Sho, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get you some water. He then runs off, grabbing Hinata a glass of water. 15 minutes away? How the fuck will it take that long? He says, obviously aggravated with the dispatcher. Hinata tries to adjust himself, but Kageyama gently holds him down. Nope, you heard Tadashi. No moving around, or at least until the ambulance gets here. Yamaguchi then runs back with a glass of water, holding it out to Hinata. Here, drink this. Hinata grabs the water and Yamaguchi helps him sit up, but Hinata feels a sharp pain in his chest. He audibly sucks the air in between his teeth, making Tsuki and Kageyama rush over. Sho, are you... Yes, I'm fine. Just a little chest pain. Don't worry. And honestly, I don't need an ambulance. I'm fine. He says, getting annoyed with all the "are you okays" he's been asked within the past 5 minutes. He takes a sip of his water and feels it soothe his throat a little. Sure. Where do you feel the most pain right now? Let me check it out. Hinata sighs. He really is fine. Why can't they just believe him? It's mostly just my chest, right around here. He points at the side of his chest. But it's really nothing. Don't worry about it. Well, I'm worrying. Now let me see. Hinata sighs, but lifts his arms, letting Yamaguchi take off his shirt for him. Yamaguchi then lifts Hinata's shirt up and off him, laying him back down, then looking at the spot he pointed at, and sees it's extremely swollen and black and blue. Oh my god, he says, in shock of what he just saw. This makes Kageyama look at where Yamaguchi was and makes his jaw drop. Okay? He says, pulling on Tsuki's shirt. Tsuki stops arguing with the operator on the phone and looks over at Shoyo. What the fuck? Hinata just looks confused and looks down at the spot, seeing the same thing as him, making his eyes widen. I guess he really isn't fine, huh? What the? Tsuki then puts the phone back up to his ear. I think his rib is broken. He says to the operator, who was frantically asking if everything was okay. The silence that came after that was deafening. You could tell that Yamaguchi was hardly holding himself together, but was also trying to stay strong. He doesn't need to be something else for his partners to worry about. They needed to focus on Hinata. He was the main focus right now, not him. After about 10 more minutes, the ambulance finally arrived. 2 paramedics were assessing Hinata's injuries while one was talking to his partners. So, what happened? We aren't sure. He just came home like that. He was hanging out with some of his friends and he just came home like that. What are the friends' names? Oikawa Toru, Inuoka So, and Cosme Kemma. And phone numbers? Okay, thank you. He says, bows, then walks away to help the other 2 assess Hinata. Any pain here? He says, pressing on a spot on Hinata's chest. Hinata shakes his head. Okay, and here? He says, pressing on another spot, bringing his hand closer to the wound. A little. Alright, and how about right here? He says, gently putting his hand on the edge of the wound, making Hinata flinch and suck air through his teeth. He nods his head violently. Alright. He stands up and turns towards Hinata's partners, telling them about what will happen. I think we should definitely take him in and have the doctors take a closer look. Tsuki sighs and nods. He doesn't sigh a mad sigh, just a worried one. Alright, what hospital? Meanwhile, with Hinata and the other medic. I'm just gonna check your vitals and check your blood pressure, alright? Alright. The man does all his small checkup things, then waits for his coworkers to stop talking to his partners so they can prep him for transport. At the hospital, Hinata gets brought into the emergency room and he gets a few MRIs and a few other things. But that's all his boyfriends know about the situation as of right now. All they can do right now is hope for the best and wait. Wait in the silence of the waiting room. Wait while being stuck in their thoughts, stuck in their worries. Wait and do nothing to help the one who's hurting. Yamaguchi is probably the worst off out of all of them right now. He keeps scratching his arm over and over, making his skin go raw. Tsuki places his hand on top of Yamaguchi's. Tadashi, stop, he says in a soft voice. I know you're worried, we all are, but hurting yourself won't do anything to help show. Do you really think he would want to know you hurt yourself because of him? Yamaguchi avoids eye contact with him and the worried Kageyama on the other side of him. Sorry, Tsuki, he says simply. Tsuki was about to say something else when they hear the door to the waiting room open. They look over and see a nurse holding a clipboard walking over to them. You 3 are here for Hinata Shoyo, correct? Yes, that's correct. How is he? He has a broken rib. The reason he was coughing up blood was because the rib was rubbing against his lung. But, no worries. He's in surgery right now, and the surgeons are fixing him up. The 3 are horrified. No worries? How are they not supposed to be worried? She just told them that A, he had a broken rib and it was rubbing against his lung, and B, he's in surgery. Tsuki just takes a deep breath and composes himself. Okay, thank you for letting us know. Of course, I will update you as soon as I'm able to. She bows, then leaves the room. Kageyama takes a shuddered breath. Wow. That was all Yamaguchi needed to finally snap. He cries. He cries hard. Tsuki wraps his arms around him and soothes him. I know, but it will all be alright. Yamaguchi grabs onto Tsuki's shirt and sobs into his shoulder. Kageyama rubs his back in a comforting way, not really knowing how else to help. Thank God it's so late that they're the only ones in the waiting room. At some point, they all ended up falling asleep and are woken up by someone entering the room. They see the same nurse walking over to them. I have some good news. They're all done with the surgery, and everything seems to have gone as planned. He's now welcome to have visitors, but he is still asleep, so just keep that in mind. Follow me. They all immediately jump up, wanting to finally see their little sunshine. In the room. I will be in about every 20 minutes to check his vitals and blood pressure, but if you need me, just press this button, she says, pointing at a button attached to Hinata's bed. Okay, thank you. She bows and walks out of the room. The three sit down on the couch that was in the room and decide to go back to sleep, thinking that would be the best way to pass time. They end up having to stay in the hospital for a few more days, as the doctors wanted to make sure they didn't miss anything. Hinata ends up explaining the situation to everyone, and there is immediately an investigation launched. Eventually, they allow Hinata to go home, but tell him that he can't walk for about 2 to 3 weeks and can't play volleyball for about 3 months. They also give him a date to come back in, just so they can check and make sure everything is healing properly with the other bottoms. After they drop Shoyo off, they begin making their way to Inuoka's house. Inuoka lets out a sigh. All he can feel is his stomach turning. That blow to the gut was really doing a number on him. But he didn't say anything. Why didn't he say anything, you may be asking? Well, it's simple. He decided to put his friend's injuries above his own. He felt like he needed to be the one to take charge. Maybe it was the teacher in him, but no matter what, his friends were the main priority. They all sit in silence all the way till Inuoka's house. By the time they arrive, Inuoka is not doing well at all. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I purposely left it off on a cliffhanger this time because I'm just mean like that. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. And be sure to join my Discord server in the description or in my channel description. But yeah, time for the bloopers. Bye. He says to himself, then continues to the door, waving He then opens the front door, stepping inside and feeling a teckle. His boyfriends hear this from the living room, where they were watching some random TV. Fuck, I was yawning. This makes Kageyama. Oh, fuck, my voice. What the fuck? After they drop Shoyo off. Oh. Oh my god, I'm dying.